What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to our new segment, our baseball segment of Running the Table. This is episode number 4, episode number 1 of the baseball season. Today, we are joined by a very, very special guest, a good buddy of mine, Donnie, from good old Wisconsin. So, how you doing, Donnie?
Uh, I'm doing good today. Appreciate you having me on. I'm excited.
Yeah, you can tell with that accent right away. You get right to it. You know you like some Miller Lite and the Brewers. That's what you like. So,
Don't
you
count out
know.
the cheese too.
Hey, man, I don't know. That Bobby Wood Jr. jersey's throwing everybody off, but again, I'm throwing everybody off with the Cubs. I'm an
It
Orioles
is.
guy, but got to rep
I'm a
my
big
guy.
brewer. I'm a big brewer guy, but I haven't broke out the Bobby Witt jersey in a bit, and I like the baby blue, so throw them off a little bit.
Oh, dude, the baby blue is one of the best jerseys in baseball. I don't think
Oh,
that's crazy thing to say
100%.
at
I
all.
think every team needs one.
I do too. You know what I thought is a little crazy? I don't know why, but I feel like the Orioles could pull off a baby blue with the orange. I don't know
Ooh.
why. I don't know why. It would either be really good or really bad. And they already did like the prison jumpsuits, like the all orange. Not a fan of those. Not a fan of those.
Yeah, not
So
me either.
yeah, I don't know. I went to a game where they were playing the Blue Jays, and it was Baby Blues against the All Orange. I was at that game, and it was funny. I was with my mom, and she was like, it looks like it looks like the nurses are playing the prisoners right now. And I was laughing, so that was funny. That was
That's
funny.
awesome. That's awesome.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so what are we getting into today? Tell me. You tell me.
Well, as a lot of baseball fans may know, the World Baseball Classic's coming up in about a month or so. So we're gonna dig deep into that. Baseball's finally coming
Absolutely.
back. We got pitchers and catchers
Absolutely.
reporting soon. We might get into
Super
that.
awesome. Could get
And
into
then
that. Definitely could get into that.
and then we're definitely gonna get into salary cap because I feel like even people that aren't into baseball, that is probably one of the most talked about things right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that can be like, I feel like that's throughout all of sports right now, too. I mean, I feel like money is always
Um,
an issue in sports.
right. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, even the NFL is talking about it.
Yeah. All right. So let's hop. You got to get this thing figured out before we jump into
I
this. All right.
know,
We got to
I
put a
know,
barrier in front of it.
I
We got to
know.
figure something out.
I,
It's going right back over. All right. We might need to switch the location around.
yeah, all right, we'll
I,
get it
s-
like this.
I feel like if I like
There we
move,
go.
like, I
There we
feel
go.
like
We're
it's going
good.
to roll it over. All
We're good.
right.
We're good.
All right, here we go. So we are going to take it into the World Baseball Classic. We're just kind of going to go over everything, not too crazy. We are going to go into some of the favored teams though. So like we're going to go over the big four. We're going to go over Team Japan, Team USA, and then we're going to do two of the Latin American teams because there is kind of drama going on with the one of them.
Yep.
So we're definitely going to get into that. But let's just kick it off with Team USA. Again, you got your captain, you got Aaron Judge, and this team is looking scary. I'm really excited for it. I think that you're finally seeing the U.S. take advantage of their arms. I think that it's never really been. It's never really you never really seen it before to where you're getting the arms that you want.
Oh
I
yeah.
think in 2023, a lot of the times it was you had the lineup, but you never had the arms to go out and win. So that's something that I'm really excited to see.
I am also very excited to see it. It feels like this year that after they got beat by Japan a few years ago, they're finally saying, all right, it's time to get the super team assembled. And
Yep.
when you said Aaron Judge as the captain, it kind of just it hurt a little bit because Mike Trout, I think
Yeah.
he'll forever be a U.S. captain. He's not on the team, which makes sense. But I mean, it feels like this year compared to 3 years ago, like they're done. They're done messing around. They want to bring back that little 2017 vibe they had. I mean, that
Yep.
2017 team was one of the best we've watched. And speaking of 2017, so they used
Oh,
to go down to spring training a ton, and they would do exhibitions between like let's say the Rangers and then they do Mexico and they'd use the World Baseball Classic balls. And I told Aiden before this is the first time he's finding out who threw me this ball. Mike Napoli from the
Mike
Texas Rangers.
Napoli.
Yes, a very great pull right
Wow.
there. Mike
Dude,
Napoli threw
that
me
was a
that
key
ball.
that's a key player on the Indians playoff push right there.
That was,
He
yeah. So
was. He was a good
that
pickup.
was
Really good
definitely a
pickup.
surreal moment. That was probably one of the best sports memorabilia I have. I just thought I
Absolutely.
had
I
to show
mean,
up for the little segment. I feel like it had to be shown. But yeah, I'm very excited this year. I mean, of course, Japan is looking stacked again, but Shohei's not pitching, which might be huge.
mm-mm.
And I was
It
kind of
could
thinking
be.
about this because with him coming off Tommy John and only pitching for a couple months, I don't know if
Hmm.
LA wanted to risk that, and I'm glad they didn't because Shohei, he's nasty, and so that we'll see how that affects Team Japan. But other than that, they look stacked.
Yeah.
But about the little bit of the drama you were talking about, we got a little bit of drama going on. Why don't you talk about that, Aiden?
Yeah, so there is some rumors that Team Puerto Rico might not be taking or participating in the World Baseball Classic, which I personally think is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't even want to think about Puerto Rico not being in a World Baseball Classic. I feel like a true representation of what baseball is in like the sense of like the world scheme of things. Like, I
Hmm.
don't think that you can properly represent baseball without Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
yeah.
think that you can do that. And I think the biggest thing for me is we got to figure out a way to do it because it's not that they can't get it's not that they don't have enough players that want to play. It's that they don't have enough players that are able to play, which for me is a
Exactly.
humongous issue on one side
Yeah.
or another.
Yeah, and I was talking to my buddy about this, and the biggest thing is that they don't have insurance technically for the players. Like, let's say they get hurt or they're playing a little bit hurt, and someone gets hurt like we saw with Edwin Diaz, but
Hmm.
I think they'd be screwed. But like now they're saying that Edwin Diaz is going to play for Team Puerto Rico and that they're going to play. So it's just a lot of stuff going around. But Team Puerto Rico is definitely one of my favorite teams to watch, minus USA, because like I am just the biggest fan of Javi Baez as I see
Yeah,
this Javi Baez jersey on, and that team is fun to watch. Puerto Rico is such a fun team to watch, and
they are.
they do really compete. Dominican Republic's, of course, in there too. They got a really stacked team. It'll be interesting
Hmm.
what they do. I mean, they have a
Hmm.
lot of depth everywhere. I mean, they have an all-star at
Yeah,
every single position.
yeah. We're just gonna go in. Oh, I gotta plug my. Don't want to have my laptop die in the middle of that one. That would be a real fun way to end the episode.
That would be
But we'll
awesome.
just go. So we'll just go. We'll just go through the pools. So we have Pool A, which is this is going to be taking place in Puerto Rico. So I really hope we're doing that. They're going to have a team in it because they got a stadium that we need to use to play. So we got Team Canada, which is going to have the likes of Freddie Freeman. Um, I'm just going to their roster. I'm sorry, I don't know Team Canada's roster off the dome. We got
Freddie
Liam Hicks
Freeman, that's all
behind
I
the
got.
dish, Matt Davidson, Josh Naylor at first base, Edward Julian, Otto Lopez, Abraham Toro, Tyler O'Neill, Denzel Clark, and Owen Cassie. This seems really not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I
Um,
mean, it's really not. I mean, you got MLB guys. You got 9 MLB guys on the time except for Matt Davidson. Your
yeah,
rotation, you got Cal Quantrill and Jamison Tyone.
yeah,
So again,
yeah.
you're not completely out of it. I think that
No,
this team can compete.
no. The only people that are really calling them bad are people that just pay attention to statistics. They don't see how players play. Like they can have a nasty team. I mean,
Absolutely.
especially with this, it's all about momentum. Like you go in, you score 9 runs off the bat, you're like winning games
Oh,
9-4. Oh, momentum's through the roof.
that's a huge factor in all these games. And then do you want to take us to Team Columbia, or do you want me to take on Team Columbia? I can get that for now.
Yeah, if you
So
want to take off Team Columbia.
yeah, so we've got Elias Diaz, the 2023, I believe, or no, it was 2024 All-Star Game MVP behind the plate. Gio Urshela, Michael Arroyo, Francisco Acuna, Dayon Frias, Gustavo Campero, Oscar Mercado, Indians guy. And we got Harold Ramirez and Jorge Alfaro as the DH. Not a bad team here. I honestly think I'd take Canada's team over this team. I just don't think you have the firepower on this team.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah. One team I'm going to talk about, and I know me and Aiden have talked about this a little bit on the side, is that Venezuela. They are a sleeper
Mm-hmm.
team. Their odds
Yeah.
are horrible, but when you look at their outfield and the spots they still have to fill that they can,
We're
I mean,
gonna
you
get
got
it. Yeah. Well, no, 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 just before we go, we're gonna go through all the pools. We're gonna get into the DR real quick. I just want to go over like the top three teams from each of these pools, and then after that, I was just gonna go through. So there's five pools, so we'll just go through, take a couple minutes on each pool,
mhm.
and then go through there. Do you want to do Give me Puerto Rico. Talk to me about Puerto Rico.
Alrighty, yeah, let me get you Puerto Rico. So for Puerto Rico, We got Ramos, Javi Baez, Riley Green, Willie Castro, Nolan Arenado, Martin Maldonado, and then
Hmm.
we got Diaz, Fernando Cruz, Moran, and Quintos in the bullpen, and that's all they have for now. I believe
Why
it's
they
I
should
believe
be
it's
getting Correa and Lindor though.
That's what I did see that Lindor was still a little questionable about playing.
Hmm.
I think he said he might not be playing, but I believe they have till February 5th to
Okay.
finally do their rosters and they're going to go through it. But as of now on the World Baseball Classic website, that's what they have down for who's
Hmm.
playing. I mean, the Puerto Rico is just full of studs, and you could even switch Javi Baez back to short. I don't think he'd mind that whatsoever,
Hmm.
and you can find another just great outfielder for Puerto Rico.
Again, and
So
these, I
this,
mean, you got some cats on these rosters that you could throw prospects in here and you'd be able to fill gaps with perfectly competent baseball players. And I think that's the fun thing about Puerto Rico is that it's a
mhm.
young area, and it's just a place where like they could get some 16-year-old and he could go in and compete and be like their three-hole hitter for all we know. Like, and I
Oh,
think that's the fun part about it.
yeah, Puerto Rico stacked, and that's also another great thing about the World Baseball Classic. I'm glad you brought that up
Hmm.
because there's just a couple players that could either have a down year last year or you have no clue who in the world this dude is, and they go nuts in the World Baseball Classic and they make a name for themselves.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of baseball. That's why I love it. So it's the best sport in the world. That is
Oh,
going to take
100%.
us to Pool B. This is going to be in Houston. There's not a lot to say about this pool, honestly. It's Team USA's pool. I'm honestly kind of upset with it. I think it's a complete waste of three game or a couple games out of this Team USA team. You got
Yeah,
Brazil, Great Britain, Italy, Mexico, and the United States. I'm honestly not even going to look at any other
yeah.
roster besides a quick glance at Mexico and then USA. We'll get into a little bit because we already
Yeah.
did talk about them. This Mexico team is not bad by any means. You got Alejandro Kirk, Roddy Tellez, Jonathan Aranda, Luis Urias, Joey Ortiz, Isaac Paredes, Randy Rosarena, Jaron Duran, Joey Meneses. Then you have Aaron Sanchez, Cody Ponce, Jose Urquidy, and Taiwan Walker. This lineup's solid. I mean, again, it's if you were to plug this team into the MLB right now today, it's not going to be a bad lineup. They could probably compete, you might make a playoff, but I don't think that they're going to be able to even kind of compete against Team USA, which is later on,
Yeah.
which is in the exact same pool. Yeah, and this team's going to be fun. I think that they're going to have. I think that they win all their pool games out. They open up with Great Britain, then they go to Brazil,
Hmm.
then they have USA. I think this team goes 3-1. I think they play all right. But yeah, I mean, I just don't think there's anything that much interesting in this
No, no,
pool.
not
If
at
you want to
all.
talk about Team USA a little bit more,
Yeah,
by
Team
all means.
USA. I mean, just looking at this roster, I mean, Corbin Carroll, Buxton, Judge in the outfield, Bregman, Witt, Gunnar Henderson, Bryce Harper, Cal Raleigh, Kyle Schwarber, Joe Ryan, Logan Webb, Skeens, and Scooble.
Yeah, I mean, it
I
doesn't get
mean,
much better than that, man. This team is loaded.
I mean, Brazil's literally going to load up game one and they're going to be like, all right, we're good. Like, we got this. And then there's Scooble or Skeens on the mound. They haven't announced yet who's going to be the number one and two, but I know that they're going to be the one and two, and I feel really bad for anyone who roots for Great Britain or Brazil because they're going to go through hell for that.
Oh, just to say, Team Italy, we got Kyle Teal, Jack Caglione, Vinny Pascantino, Sam Antonacci, and Sal Frelick. So we got a Brewer on there.
Sal Frelick.
Yeah, we have some pro bowlers there. I just want to even see if there's any other. I don't even know. I'm looking at these other teams. I didn't see anybody from. Oh, Sebastian Walcott and Jazz Chisholm were playing for Great Britain, and Harry
Hmm.
Ford. So okay, my bad. I forgot about Aroldis Chapman because apparently being nicknamed the Cuban Missile, you can also be from Great Britain. So
I guess that's
yeah,
how it works, though. I mean, look at
yeah,
Nolan Arenado. I mean,
yeah. I don't know. That's ridiculous. I don't
yeah,
really like the W. I don't really like the eligibility rules. They got it. I mean, it seems like the college transfer portal. It's like if you want to play for one of these teams, you can.
yeah. I mean, other than that, I mean, a couple of these pools look decent. I mean,
Hmm.
we could go through Japan, but to be honest with you, I don't think we could pronounce half of those names. I think we all know like the big three or four: Suzuki, Murakami, Yamamoto,
Hmm.
Shohei. We all know the big ones in there, and
I'm
I
also
those.
not super um, informed about a lot of the Japanese players. I know you got the MPB and the
Hmm.
KBO over there, which they're shoving players over to the
Yeah,
MLB every year. So I have no
yeah,
doubt this team's going to come ready to play.
yeah.
Um, Not really a whole lot in Pool C outside of Japan. But again, now you get a real good time going down in Miami. Perfect place to have it. You get the DR, Israel, Netherlands, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. Donnie, lead us off with the DR.
Yeah, the DR, they are going to be stacked, and they are going to be a very fun team to watch. Soto, Rodriguez, Tatis, Machado, Perdomo, Marte, and Vladdy, Diaz, and Caminero. And their bullpen even more stacked. Their starting rotation could use a little bit of work, but
Depends
I
on what
mean,
you
with
get
it,
out of Sandy.
exactly. Yeah, Sanchez could have something too. Severino, you never know. I
Yeah,
mean, they have a couple good arms in the bullpen, but I mean, honestly, with an offense like that, how
dude,
many
I'm
games are you
telling
gonna have
you,
to pitch a shutout or one run?
as
I
long as
mean,
you don't
that
allow
offense
nine
is
runs.
nuts. Yeah, that offense is just absurdly good.
Donnie, I don't think that we're going to understand the fact that I think Geraldo Perdomo is, I would say that he's a top five bat in this lineup.
And I don't blame you for saying that. I can't disagree.
Among shortstops, like you're talking about a top five guy in
Hmm.
baseball. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
like, yes. I mean, is he better than Bobby Witt, Frankie Lindor? Like, I would even say Ellie Gunner. I don't think so.
No.
But at the same time, like, I do think that Geraldo Perdomo, per what he does year in and year out, is better than Corey
Hmm.
Seager right now. And I mean that.
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah.
produces better. I think that he plays better defense. He's a switch hitting shortstop. He's been an all-star the last couple of years. I mean, you're looking
Hmm.
at a guy that like people are just going to go, oh, Geraldo Perdomo, he's probably going to hit in, one of the bottom three slots. And you're not going to really worry about him. But at the same time, like I'm telling you right now, this guy is going to be a big part of this lineup that can kind of help hold everything down
Hmm.
and be a bridge piece. And
Yeah.
also, I mean, Junior Caminero might hit fourth in this lineup,
Yeah.
that we're looking at. Junior
Yeah.
Caminero is probably going to hit fourth at 23 years old.
100%. Yeah, he has a great bat, and he is a big bright spot on that Rays team.
Oh,
I mean,
humongous.
yeah, he is a huge bright spot on that Rays team that has struggled in the past, but he is bringing some life to Tampa Bay.
Him and Aranda are going to be a good thing to have on
Hmm.
on the corners for that team. I think that's going
Yep.
to be a fun team to watch. They really got a lot of stuff they got a lot of return packages for some of the guys that they dished off. And
Yeah.
again, we all know their pitching lab, and we know what they're able to unlock with those guys. So I think that this is going to be a team where they've had a couple rough years, but they're going to reload and get right back to where they need to be.
Yeah,
But this DR team is scary, man. I mean,
it is.
might not be the most incredibly outfield defensively, but
Yeah.
you know, I still
Yeah.
think that this is going to be one of the best teams that you see in
Yeah.
this entire tournament. And then I'll run
Yeah.
over Team Venezuela real quick because
Yeah.
Donnie, I've told you before, I don't hate this team as like one of those kind of sneaky picks that could come out
Oh,
and
I
win
don't hate
this.
it at all.
I mean, you got Salvi Perez behind the plate. Yes, I know he's aging. I understand all those things. Gino Suarez, Michael Garcia, Jackson Churio, Ronald Acuna, Wilyer Abreu. More than likely, we'll be able to get Jose Altuve to play second base, and you might be able to get Luis Ariz to play first base for this team. Not
Yeah.
100% sure, but again, they've got the arms. They've got Suarez, Lopez, Herman Marquez, Erod. Not going to knock
Yeah.
anybody's not going to blow anybody away, but you got four quality arms. And I think that this team is really, really solid. And
Yeah.
again, in a pool like this, you need to win one big game and you're automatically there to the show.
Yeah,
And I think
exactly.
that's what
Yeah.
makes this so
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. And if you're not like into baseball and you're watching this, my suggestion would be is to tune in on March 11th at 7 o'clock to watch Dominican and Venezuela play. That game will probably be minus the championship games, probably the game of the pool, any pool.
I 100% agree. I mean,
I mean,
Miami's going to blow up.
yeah, Miami
Miami's
is
going to
going.
burn to the ground. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I'm guessing you have Suarez start that game, maybe even Rodriguez, depending on how it goes. But I mean, it all just depends with arms because it looks like they still have a few bullpen arms to fill in. But
yeah, and again, and
other
the
than that,
fun thing about a lot of these Latin teams is that a lot of these teams just are kind of filling these with the guys that are playing in the Dominican Winter Leagues and are
yeah,
competing every day with these guys. So, you have
yeah.
these guys come in and dude, they'll compete with everybody else there because, well, who do you
Hmm.
think that Ronald Acuna plays with, in November? Like he's not just sitting on the couch, like, he's
Hmm.
playing somewhere, and that's
Yeah,
who he's playing with. So I
yeah,
think that's the cool thing about these.
yeah. But yeah, I 100% think that the Dominican and Venezuela, their team is their sleeper team.
Absolutely.
And
I think they are.
if you're betting man, Venezuela's at plus 1400 to win the whole thing. So if you
That's not a
wanna,
crazy play.
that's not a horrible bet right
Yeah, I
there. I
mean a
mean,
little
those are pretty good odds.
sprinkle. I mean technically, I mean your odds, I mean if you want to pick a non-favorite, I mean the DR is at plus 350. I mean,
Yeah,
Japan's at plus 3 and US is at plus
140.
140. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're the favorites. Puerto Rico's at plus 900.
yeah, I mean
I mean, there's a
depending
good
on
amount
if
of
they
teams.
can load up, yeah, depending on if Puerto Rico could load up, that wouldn't be a bad
Yeah,
play either.
it just depends who can play and who cannot play due to injuries, and so we'll see where that
Exactly.
goes. I mean, we're coming up on 3 more days until the teams have to be final and they announce them.
Yeah, and I'm super excited for this World Baseball Classic, man. I mean, I
It's
think that
gonna be nice.
and
It's gonna be awesome.
it's better than having to watch spring training baseball. I mean, it's better than having to, you know, watch, your number 22nd ranked prospect, start at second base and you have no idea who he is.
Yeah.
So, it's a good time. It's a good time to gain knowledge, but not exactly the most
Yeah.
entertaining time for baseball. Um, and that'll kind of wrap up the salary or the World Baseball
We're,
Classic. Now is my favorite one of my most exciting moments that I've had. We are going to talk baseball, financial issues, salary cap, salary floor. Do we need it? Do we not need it? How do we fix this? And why do the Dodgers suck so bad? Donnie, start me off.
there needs to be a salary cap or at least a salary floor. I mean, it is just impossible. I get it. The Brewers played horribly in that NLCS last year, but there is just no possible reason why the Dodgers need to be going signing people for like 240, 250 mil, Shohei's contract. The Brewers can't come near that. And I get it, Mark Anastasio, he's always been cheap and he's always extended people. Like with Yelich, he gave him just an absurd contract after one good year. And honestly, his back's been worse, but it's just, I think there needs to be one. They just need to give teams a chance to compete. And it's not really fair when the Dodgers could just sign all these guys. Oh, yeah, we'll give you all the money in the world. Of course, they're going to take it. But it's just, I think there 100% needs to be a salary floor or a cap. They just need to give teams like the Brewers a chance. So it's not just the Brewers, there's plenty of other teams out there. And the last time I looked, the Brewers were like 29th or 28th in salary cap, and they're making it to the LCS.
I think that this is something that like I've thought about a lot recently,
Hmm.
and I think that there's a lot of different ways that you can go with this, but I think that kind of one, and I almost feel like depending on like I kind of vary, but I think what I've come up with is I think that there needs to be a cap. I think that you
Yeah.
need to have a way of stopping the teams from overspending because I think that overspending is a massive issue in baseball. I think that you got your perennial 3 to 4 teams. You got both teams in New York. You've got the Dodgers, and then I think you can say Philly, the Padres. Like that third or fourth roster is kind of going to be a wild card depending on the offseason. But I
Yeah.
also after kind of thinking about that, I also think that you absolutely need a floor. And I think that a floor might be more important than a cap is
Hmm.
because what's worse, I think, is that you have these owners that you're looking at net worth because that's what people are saying is, oh, well, the Dodgers have more money than everybody else. The Dodgers have more money than everybody else. Technically, but not really. Like all of these owners are billionaires. I want to say you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost positive that every MLB owner is a billionaire with a
Yeah.
B. which means that all of them have an ungodly amount of money that they can
Yeah,
go and spend, and they own an MLB team, which is
yeah,
like a business, and they're just. I
yeah,
think that owners need to be punished for not investing in their business, which is what buying and which is what signing players and extending players and bringing in talent is. That's
yeah,
exactly what that is. So I
yeah,
think that there needs to be a penalty going both
yeah.
ways, not just
I
one.
mean, I think the biggest thing is that like it's super huge for LA and for New York because they're just such a big name state overall. And I've talked to my dad about this a lot. And I don't realize until he showed me on how much like the Dodgers make for being on an MLB network every night at 10 o'clock just because they're West Coast. I mean,
Yeah.
they make so much good money out of that. Anytime you're like nationally televised, so much money.
Well,
I mean,
exactly.
and like you'll go and try and watch a Brewer game. Yeah, they'll put them on Apple TV. Whoop de doo. Pat Murphy's are eating pocket pancakes. No
Mm,
biggie.
yeah.
But I think if you start nationally televising teams more and giving them more opportunities to grow financially, I think it'll change. But if they don't have a floor or a cap, they are going to leave us baseball fans without baseball next year. It's just that simple.
Yeah, I think that there has to be something instilled because I don't think that Manfred is doing enough. I don't think that again, if he just says, "Hey, you guys need to do this," I don't think that anything's going to come of it. And I think that that's like what you
No.
just said. That is going to lead to no baseball, and I think that's the biggest issue. And I think that when you look at it, yes, like is it unfair to the teams that actually are spending money? Because like I want to look at this, like how much does and or the owner of the Dodgers like just looking at like their net worth. Like I don't care about anything really else.
Yeah.
So Steve Cohen, and this is just the first thing that I could find. So you can hold on. We'll do as of 2026 because I don't want to be spewing false information out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I have Mark
Yeah.
Anastasios up right now. I
So
want to
dude, it's
compare the
Steve
Dodgers.
Cohen.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I want to see what the Brewers owner is compared to the Dodgers, if you have that up.
the Brewers to the Dodgers. So right now, hold on, I'm setting we have about 10 minutes left. So we're gonna try to stuff as much information in the 10 minutes as we possibly.
Perfect.
All right. So Steve Cohen is the richest owner in baseball with 21.3 billion. And then the Rogers Center, which so Toronto's got 11 billion, the Braves, the Nats. Like the Guardians have one of the richest owners in baseball, Downey. They spend one of the least in all of baseball.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the
And same.
Guardians, like that's bad, man. Like that's why you need to have a floor because again, that's
Yeah.
who's signing players. It's not the state. It's not the state of Ohio. Like
Yeah.
it's again, like so you have these things. Edwin Diaz just committed to pitch for Team Puerto Rico. This is on Monday for our listeners on Thursday. Um, you said the Dodgers owner is Mark Walter, 3.6 billion. So the Dodgers, here's the other thing. Keep in mind, the Dodgers are like a middle of the pack owner money.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
and then the where is the I honestly didn't even see the
Yeah. It's saying Mark Ananasio, it's approximately from 700 million to 1.9 billion. And honestly, that's not a horrible number. It just shows how cheap he is. He's just a huge fan of the farm system. I mean, it
yeah,
is nuts on how many players they've brought up through the farm. Even Caleb Durbin, when we traded Devin Williams, he was a young guy in the Yankees farm system, and we brought him up, and look what he did
yeah.
for us this year. I mean, we are such a young team with so much potential. I mean, it might just take a few years, but it'll definitely be interesting to see it if they do a salary floor or cap, what it'll do for teams like
So well, here's what I think again, at the end of the day, like I think you have to encourage people to win. Like, and I think that this is the crappy thing about professional sports is that
oh
people
yeah,
it's becoming such a money grab that like again, I know that everybody says, "Oh, well, I just play for the love of the game." Like, yes, everybody would play for the love of the game, but when money is involved, money does take over.
Hmm.
It takes over
Yeah.
everything. It doesn't matter how much you love something. If money
Yeah.
is involved, you will start to become like greed will always be there. And I
Yeah.
think that's the thing that with these MLB teams, like you've got these owners who own this team and they have this humongous amount of income coming in. Because again,
Yeah.
every time that you buy a jersey, this jersey made the Chicago Cubs a more rich franchise. It did. That jersey made the
100%.
Royals a more rich franchise. Like you put money into the owner's
Yeah.
pockets whenever you bought
Yeah.
these things.
Correct. Yeah.
So like they have everybody that has every team that sells a jersey, their owner's making
Yeah.
money on top of the
Yeah.
money that they already have as their network. You have to
Well,
make these owners spend money. You
yeah.
have to make
Plus
these owners spend
tickets.
money.
Yeah.
Plus
Tickets are a big thing
tickets.
too. And the Brewers,
Yeah.
honestly, other than opening week, maybe a bigger series within here and there and playoffs, they don't sell out much at all.
Which is fine. Again, you got stadium that has
Yeah.
50 that seats 40,000. You seat half the
Yeah.
place. You got
Exactly.
20 grand. You
I
know what I
mean,
mean?
yeah.
Like
Yeah. Exactly. Compared to like Chicago, LA, and New York area, just the population overall is so much bigger. So it's hard to fill the seats like that. And
mhm.
it sucks, but I mean, it's just what you have to deal with sometimes as a franchise. But I also do feel like Mark Ananasio could use more money and stop being so cheap. But I
Mhm.
mean, we'll see
To
what
put
happens.
to put into perspective, uh if a team sells 20,000 tickets per home game. So keep in
Hmm.
mind that's just on average.
Hmm.
And the average ticket is $35. So I feel like again that averages out. I feel like
Yeah.
close to
Yeah.
it. And they do that 81 times in a season, which is
Hmm.
around how many home games you're gonna have. Guess how much
Yeah.
money they get annually?
Yours can't tell me the number here. Number one, we're running out of time. And number two, I can't even
$57 million.
Jesus.
So just by selling 20,000 tickets for some of these small market teams, you're getting $56 million. Go sign a player. Go sign a player. Go
That
sign
easy.
someone. Go
That
sign
simple.
someone.
Doesn't have
You
to be a
know,
superstar like Kyle
no.
Tucker or anything like that. It can just be a lower end guy. Because of course, Kyle Tucker, Bellinger, you can name them. They're gonna
I
run
just
towards that high money.
we just put out a TikTok. Go follow the TikTok, running the table PO on TikTok. Post a ton of daily stuff there on updates, stuff throughout the year. I just posted about the White Sox. I love what the White Sox are doing. I really
I love it
do.
too. I
Are they
do.
going out there? Are they going out there to win the World Series? No, let's just be real. No, they're not.
No, no.
However, they have a loaded farm system. They
Hmm.
have a young team. You've got Colson Montgomery, you've got Kyle Teal. If I'm not mistaken, they've got that stud from Florida State, the
Oh,
lefty, or no, from Arkansas, the lefty.
yeah.
Um,
I know who you're talking
yeah,
about.
I think it's Nolan, or I can't remember what his name is, but like he's a stud. You've
He
got
is.
you've got Braden Montgomery. That I mean, you've got guys littered throughout that top 100. This is a loaded system. And again, you're going out. You're getting Austin. You're going to get Austin Hayes. You get Sir Anthony Dominguez, Lucas
Yeah.
Sims. Go in.
Yeah.
Now Lucas Sims has been terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, they went out. They got Hicks. Like you're doing little things like this where people are like, okay, like at least we're trying. Like at
Yeah.
least we're trying. Like, I can say, oh, well, I'm going to go to the White Sox game today because, two-time All-Star Austin Hayes is playing left field today. That's better than some kid that we have no idea we've never heard of before in our lives. And he's hitting and he's hitting a buck 68. Like,
Yeah. Exactly. And the Brewers are doing the same thing. And I know I'm bringing up the Brewers a lot, but they're in like the same
that's fine.
situation, just with a little bit more studs. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I looked it up before this. Their whole starting lineup, minus Contreras, Vaughn, and Durbin,
Mm-hmm.
and Ortiz, came out of their farm system.
And
I
I
mean, they
love
are
that.
just loaded. And like Mizorowski, right out of our farm system. Gasser, when his arm gets healthy, right out of our system. Like we are such a farm system heavy team, and it is finally starting to pay off a little bit.
Well, and again, we got like 2 minutes, so we're gonna do like a quick. I want to make like one last point, and then we'll kind
Hmm.
of get into wrapping things up. But
Hmm.
I think the fun thing that what a floor and a salary cap and a salary floor will do is it'll make prospects and minor league baseball more important because if I can't just go out every year and spend $100 billion and
Hmm.
oh well my left fielder is going to retire in 2 years, like let's just use for example, like I don't know, let's say the Brewers. So you got Yelich that's out in right field or playing left field and he's DHing. He's still got
Yeah,
like 2 or 3 years left, but like you know that you're gonna have to plug that you're gonna have to plug that hole. And
yeah,
am I gonna want to go out in 2 or 3 years and spend, 30 million a year on a guy? I don't know if I can do that. So
right.
that makes that draft prospect process so much more important to where I
Hmm.
have to nail this because this guy actually is like now it's like, oh, we're gonna draft him and hope that he works out. If not, we dish him.
Yeah,
Like
right.
now you
Yeah,
have to draft, it
yeah,
might make that more important.
yeah. That completely makes sense, and I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of good things that could come from it, but I do think you have to implement both. You can't just have, infinite down here and you can't just have a floor and just be able to have these guys spend as much as they want. But
Correct.
so I think that's the biggest thing is that we've got to implement. You have to do something or else we're not watching baseball.
No, we're not 100%. Or it could be like a COVID season. Like there's like 60 games and the Brewers make the playoffs going 29-31. Like it's just, it might just be one of those years. We might not know. I mean, it could happen today where there's like, yeah, there will be a salary floor
I mean,
for
it
next year.
could.
I
I
mean,
would
it could
love
happen
it.
out of nowhere.
I think it will because I think that you're already done with winter meetings, so it's got to come sooner rather than later. But
Exactly.
guys, that is going to take us into the end of the episode. I am super excited. Donnie and I are going to be doing this more often. We're going to be uploading every Thursday, giving you daily or weekly baseball content specifically. But yeah, that'll take us into the end of the episode. Peace.
Yep. Aiden, thanks for having me.
Yep.
Yeah.